Alright guys, today we're looking at the IMALENT MS12 MINI. This thing is 65,000 lumens in the size of a soda can. So let's take a look at the box. So on the outside of the box, we have a picture of the flashlight itself. I think that says Cree LEDs on it. IMALENT's name. This is, I guess, just a barcode for their item. Just tells you what it is. IMALENT MS12 MINI. With 12 Cree XHP 70.2s. Long beam distance, 1,036 meters. And built-in cooling fans. This side's blank. The bottom's got a QR code. It's got their website on it. Beat up, but that's fine. So, let's take a look at what's inside. So inside the box we get a couple of items here. We got our instruction manual. Then we get 2 O-rings, spare for the flashlight. We get a lanyard, just, tied up a little bit, like a little knit thing. It's pretty cool. We get our charging cable, because this thing has a built-in battery pack. And then we get a little bit of a holster for it. Nice Velcro on the front. Feels nice and sturdy. It's like padded on the inside to protect it. It's got your little loop here if you want to clip it. I guess hanging on like a bag or something like that. Got the Velcro to slap it over a belt. Or you can slide your belt right through in the back here if you don't want it to fall off. So that's pretty nice. So let's take a closer look at the user manual. Let's take a look at this runtime chart first. On low you got 1500 lumens for 4 hours. Middle low you have 3000 lumens for 2 hours 50 minutes. In middle 1 you have 5000 lumens for 1 hour 23 minutes. Middle 2 you have 13,000 lumens for 48 minutes. High you have 25,000 lumens for 3 minutes, then it drops down to 13,000 for 43 minutes. And then on turbo you got 65,000 lumens for 45 seconds, and then it drops down to 13,000 lumens for 40 minutes. The beam distance is 1,036 meters, and then the candela is 268,600, as well as 1 meter impact resistant, and is IP56. You have the product introduction, kind of tells you about the light itself. Product features: utilizes 12 Cree XHP 70.2 LEDs, built-in lithium-ion battery pack, which includes 4 21700 cells. It's got the diameters here, the weight. It is a high-efficiency constant current circuit, will maintain constant brightness. So instead of dimming down over time, when it loses battery power, it'll just keep the same brightness the whole way through, and then it'll just end up dying in the end instead of like getting weaker and weaker like some flashlights. The built-in thermal control module will automatically adjust the brightness depending on how hot the light is, which allows it to step down, as like we've seen up here. It's got an orange peel reflector. It's made out of aluminum. It's got the anodized body. There's operation instructions with all the modes right there. We're going to go over those a little bit later on. Then you get your flashlight maintenance and warranty service and all that down here. Everything else in here is just different languages. So it's just this one sheet right here is your instructions. So now let's take a look at the flashlight itself. The machining on this light is very nice. All smooth edges, no sharp corners, nice even anodization, no little marks or anything. This was pretty much flawless when I got it. It has a little aluminum grills over the fans protecting them, which I was assuming those were going to be plastic, but I guess they're aluminum by the way it feels, which is cool. Here's your reflector, a little bit of an orange peel. You got the 12 XHP 70.2 LEDs in the front. The reflector is fairly deep, which helps it create a bit of a hot spot in the middle of the light rather than just being, a big flood wall of light like the AceBeam X80 GT, which is useful. And this is the button on the light. It's a little bit hard to find in the dark, so if there was one thing I could change about this is maybe change that to a stainless button or something like they have on the MS18 or other lights alike. But then you have these little green LEDs on the left and to the right of the button, which you might not be able to see. Let me see if I can shut this light off and we'll get a better look at it. So there's your green LEDs on each side of the button. These will turn red if the battery is getting low, or they'll flash red accordingly. So now let's take a look at the UI. So from off, one click turns it on, and if you want to change out the modes, you just hold. So it's low, medium, medium 1, medium 2, high, and high is the max for here, which is 25,000 lumens. And if you double click, you get turbo. Pretty much like every other IMALENT light that there is, except for a couple other variations. You can turn the fans on manually by holding down the button from off for about 3 seconds. And they'll stay on regardless of what mode you have it on, so I can turn it to low and leave them on. Because naturally the fans kick in when it's at 5,000 lumens, but we can turn them off by holding it down again so you guys can hear me. So yeah, the fans turn on at 5,000 lumens automatically, and all the stages up from there. Unlike the MS18, where the fans kick on according to temperature, these are just preset. So then from off, if you click 4 times, you will be able to lock the flashlight out, which you'll see here by clicking. It'll blink and then it won't turn on. And then to unlock it, you can click it 4 more times. And then the last mode that there is would be strobe, which is double clicking from turbo. Let me shut that off now, because that's pretty bright and annoying. So that's it for the UI and the overview of the flashlight. I'm going to take this thing outside to different locations, and we're going to try it out against a couple other lights, like the MS18, and we'll try the AceBeam X80 GT, and a couple of other ones. We'll kind of compare them and see what they look like. So let's go outside and take a look. Alright, so we're out in the field here. This is the MS12 Mini. We're going to start from low. This is low, 1500 lumens. 3000 lumens. 5000. Just starting to see the bridge over there. 13,000. Reaches a bit farther out on the right by those trees. 25,000. Starting to reach to almost to the edge of the field there. And this is a 65,000 lumen mode. You can see the master's going to spill in the front of the camera there, in the foreground. But there is, as you can tell right here, the hot spot. You can kind of see the beam. And it does reach just like all the way out to those far, far trees out there. Just about hits them. Now it's stepping down to 13,000 after that amount of time. Now apparently it should run on this mode for 40 minutes, which is still plenty bright. Now I'm going to step in the front and I'm going to try the MS12 Mini versus the MS18, both on turbo, in the field. Let's see what happens. This is MS12 Mini. And then straight to MS18 on turbo. This is a quick shot of the MS12 Mini in a closer environment. I'm going to be comparing it to the X80 GT. All things considered, I think this light is definitely a winner from IMALENT, in my opinion. It's got good output, good size. It's not crazy heavy. It can handle its turbo time for 40 seconds at least, 45 seconds, without stepping down, which is good. This is not just like a 5-second turbo and then step down kind of deal, which is what a lot of lights are. The battery life, like I said, is good. Heat management, it doesn't get crazy hot. The 3 fans definitely keep that head cool, and it cools it off quick once you shut it off as well, if you let the fans run afterward. Well, so I definitely recommend picking up this light if you've been on the fence about it. It's 100% worth it. It's probably the most interesting light I've had in a while, and I'm definitely excited to see what IMALENT comes up with next.